Day 16 of Browns training camp. Man, we've had a lot of these. And another day, another, you guessed it, big boy, big dot from Shedeur Sanders on this beautiful wheel route to Gage Lavardin. And, you know, Shedeur, you know, you can say what you want about him, but even if you hate him, even if you're the biggest Shedeur hater, his best throw is that fade route, that wheel route. He's hit Luke Floria, he's hit Gage, he's had game winners on it, right? And he just has really good timing to put that ball in a bucket when he wants to be able to do it. And he just continuously shows that, and he shows it again.
Nobody saw this coming. Not the Cleveland media, not the analysts who spent the last year picking him apart. And definitely not the people who told you Shedeur Sanders didn't belong on this roster. Because on day 16 of Browns training camp, something happened that nobody could explain away. Shedeur Sanders didn't just show up, he went elite. And what happened right after? It shut the entire practice down.
We need to see major growth in Shedeur's game, both in terms of his processing speed. We know he's got a really natural touch with the deep ball. We know he's naturally accurate. I think you watch him in terms of how he navigates the pocket. That's greatly improved from his rookie year. And then really, you know, the operation as well, because you know, this offense puts a lot on the quarterback's.
And, you know, that's kind of the gist of what I was talking about. But, you know, I think he puts it better than I would if I rambled out. That I'm happy to see the product that Shedeur has put out there, because to me it says that, okay, well, he is an NFL. He's showing that he's an NFL quarterback. He's showing that I'm going to get an elite defense. I'm going to continue to get better. I think the growth that he's shown, it shows me that I think he's going to be able to do that. And then, you know, today, I mean, even that throw to what was it, to the Gage?
Day 16. Another hot afternoon in Berea. Another day where Shedeur Sanders was working with the twos, the second-team offense. Let that sink in for a second. The second string. And yet, he's still out there delivering the kind of throw that makes grown coaches stop what they're doing. A gorgeous wheel route, a perfectly placed fade in the corner of the end zone, the kind of throw scouts call touch. The defenders can't do anything about, because by the time they turn around, the ball's already there. Here's the thing people conveniently forget. You can hate Shedeur Sanders all you want. You can question the pedigree, the confidence, the noise around his name. But even his harshest critics can't argue with the tape. That fade route, that's automatic. He's hit it in college. He's hit it in preseason. He's hit it with the game on the line. And he hit it again today. But that's not even the headline. Here's where things get crazy. By the time practice wrapped, the quarterback tracker came out, and it told a story nobody expected. Deshawn Watson, 25 attempts, 64% completion. Dylan Gabriel, 8 attempts, 75%. Shedeur Sanders, 13 attempts, 76.9% completion. 10 out of 13. Efficient, sharp, in rhythm. The highest number on the field from the guy running with the second unit. Now pay attention to this. This wasn't some scripted, low-pressure walkthrough. This was a physical, chippy, blitz-heavy practice where defenders were flying around like it was Sunday, and Shedeur still put the ball where it needed to be, over and over again. That's not luck. That's not hype. That's a quarterback figuring it out in real time. Here's where the narrative completely falls apart. For months, the story on Shedeur Sanders was simple. He's not ready. He's raw. He needs to see the field better. But watch him now. Analysts inside the building are saying it themselves. His processing speed has taken a leap. His pocket presence, the exact thing scouts flagged before the draft, looks nothing like the rookie who first walked into Berea. He's stepping up instead of bailing out. He's taking the check down instead of forcing a throw into traffic. He's operating an offense that puts a massive amount on the quarterback's plate, and doing it with more poise than he showed just 1 year ago. That's not a small jump. That's the kind of growth teams build a future around. And yet, somehow, he's still fighting a job with the twos.
Rutenberg's been dialing up crazy blitzes, and he's been smacking Quinshawn. His guardian cap was coming off. People were falling. Shedeur got hurt, and as Daniel says, Brown's practice is over. It was an abrupt ending that Todd Monken called. As he addressed the team, he seemed to be frustrated with some over-physicality from the defense. During a move-the-ball session, a defensive lineman made contact with Shedeur Sanders' arm. It was sent to the sideline. Same thing happened after Aiden Huntington knocked Quinshawn Quinshon Judkins to the ground on a run play. Practice was called not too long afterwards. And like I said, I'm listening to the Browns daily, and they're talking about how literally like Rutenberg was like hot. He was walking off on the sideline and stuff like that. So
now let's talk about who he's throwing to, because this matters. This Browns receiver room is deeper than people realize. Guys like Cole Wilson out of Baylor flashing serious upside. A receiver room that's honestly underrated across the league. But even with all that talent to spread the ball around, Shedeur is still finding chemistry. He's connecting downfield. He's building timing with multiple targets. He's showing the kind of command over an offense that isn't supposed to come this easy. Meanwhile, across the field, Watson had a productive day of his own, including a wide-open touchdown. Nobody's denying that. But that's exactly why what Shedeur did hits different. He's not just competing against a struggling quarterback. He's competing against a former Pro Bowler, an established starter, and he's still putting up the better efficiency number. But here's where the story takes a hard turn, because right when Shedeur was building momentum, practice got shut down. Not paused, not wrapped up on schedule, shut down abruptly by the head coach himself. Here's what happened. The defense started getting out of control. Blitzes were coming free and violent. Players were getting driven into the ground. One hit sent a tight end to the sideline. Another slammed a running back to the turf on what should have been a routine rep. And then it happened to Shedeur. A defensive lineman made contact with his arm during a live rep. He had to be checked. He had to head to the sideline. That's when the head coach had seen enough. He stopped the entire team period on the spot, visibly frustrated with how physical things had gotten. Now here's the part nobody's talking about enough. Word coming out of the building is that the head coach got heated face-to-face with his own defensive coordinator. The reason? The blitzes, the physicality, the fact that his own quarterbacks were getting knocked around in what was supposed to be a controlled practice period. Think about that for a second. A head coach publicly frustrated, shutting down his own team period because his own quarterback's room, including the guys some people still won't take seriously, was in danger. That's not nothing. That's protection. Whether the coaching staff wants to admit it out loud or not, they know exactly what they've got developing in that quarterback room.
It was me that I think he's going to be able to do that. And then, today, even that throw to what was it, to the Gage? Right? Let me see one more time. Can I see it? Oh no, that was Casey put that boy Casey's foot. That boy's on skates, boy. But like throws like these that consistently, are a hit all the time. And these are the things that I think make me even more confident in what Shedeur's going to be able to do. Good throw from Gage. Obviously, practice cut short. Hate to see the injuries. Love to see the growth from Shedeur. Thursday, it really, really matters. I don't know what tomorrow's practice is going to look like because of this. But Thursday, against other people, it will really be a big decider to see who's going to be starting. Y'all let me know who y'all think will be. Like the video if you like it. Hype the video. Be great. Be beautiful. Be blessed. We'll see you next time.
That's not even the most important part. Because now, all eyes shift to Thursday, a joint practice against outside competition, real bullets, real evaluation, the kind of setting where hype and hope don't matter, only tape does. And for Shedeur Sanders, this is the moment. This is where impressive camp reps either turn into a real case for QB1 or fade into another line in the highlight reel nobody remembers by week 1. Everything he's built over these 16 days, the touch on the fade route, the improved pocket presence, the best completion percentage on the roster, it all gets tested in one afternoon. No excuses, no twos, no safety net. Just him against a real opponent with a job on the line. So let's bring this back to where we started. A quarterback working with the second team. A quarterback some people still refuse to take seriously. And somehow, on a day that got so physical the head coach had to shut it down himself, that same quarterback posted the best number on the field. You can call that coincidence. You can call that a small sample size. But at some point, you have to call it what it actually is. Growth. Real, measurable growth. Whether you love Shedeur Sanders or you can't stand him, one thing is getting harder and harder to deny. Every single time they try to write him off, he answers with his arm. And every time practice gets chaotic, every time the pressure gets turned all the way up, he's the one still standing in the pocket, delivering the ball on time. That's not hype. That's a quarterback quietly building a case nobody can ignore anymore.
Thursday is coming, and this time, the whole league will be watching. If you believe Shedeur Sanders is closer to QB1 than anyone wants to admit, smash that like button, drop a comment with your prediction for Thursday, and make sure you're subscribed because when this story breaks, you're going to want to be the first to know.